What's up, you guys? Welcome back. So today I want to talk about my very first 4K movie that I bought. I do want to say that I didn't buy it on purpose, okay? Let me explain. Okay, so the first 4K movie that I have purchased is the Justice League movie. I did plan on purchasing this movie, not because it's good, but because I'm a stupid DC fanboy. I saw this movie in theaters twice, the second time just to make sure I felt the way I felt about it, and I did. My wife did not get a chance to see it, so whenever it came out on Blu-ray and DVD and in 4K, she asked me to go rent it. I already knew that I would eventually own it, so I figured, screw it. She really wants to watch it. She really wants to see what everyone is talking about, so I decided to just go purchase it, even though I was in no rush to own it. I did call ahead of time. I even looked online to make sure that they had copies on Blu-ray and DVD, and I was told that they did. So I drove 20 minutes to find out that they didn't have any. All they had was this, like literally this one copy. I figured, screw it, it does come with a 4K, but it also comes with a Blu-ray, so why the hell not? Wife wants to watch it. I figured maybe I can try to return it. I did immediately find out that I couldn't return it. Apparently, once you open up a Blu-ray movie, you can't return it. All these years, I never knew that. Either way, I have to spend the rest of my life knowing that this is my first 4K movie. Out of all the things that could have been, I don't even have a 4K TV or a 4K player, so this is it. This is the movie that will forever be my first 4K fucking movie. I swear I'm not trying to be harsh. Like, I love Batman and I love the DC universe so much that this was an actual gargantuan disappointment. I know a lot of people enjoyed it, but it's almost like the people that did enjoy it were blind to everything that went completely wrong. All the things that don't make sense in this movie, which is pretty much the entire movie, for some reason people just didn't notice. How do you not notice the plot of the movie? Which, I mean, there really kind of isn't one, I guess. I guess the plot of the movie is you have Steppenwolf, which is a piece of shit. What he wants to do is destroy Earth and create it or turn it into his own, which is pretty much the exact same plot as Man of Steel. For a villain that has no depth, I kind of feel like he is kind of a genius, or maybe he's just smarter than our superheroes, because how the hell did he know where all the boxes were? Like, whenever all these teams decided to separate the boxes and hide them, he wasn't there. But then thousands of years later, he suddenly knows where all of them are and just like appears exactly where they are. How did he know and how did he do that? Whenever he shows up to the invisible Amazon island, he just shows up inside this pyramid temple that is hiding the box. Not really hiding it, but it's in there. And he just shows up and they try to not let him grab it. And one of the things that I didn't understand was how all these women, they're so fast and strong, supposedly, that they're strong enough to hold a wall up to trap him in there, but then he literally just walks through the back wall, and then a horse falls on one of the women and she can't lift that horse up, and then she dies underneath that horse. Like, how are these women strong enough to walk through walls or hold these concrete gates up, but they can't lift a horse? Little things like that really bothered me and just didn't make any sense. You're strong enough to fight monsters that are 10 times your size, yet you can't lift a dead horse off of your leg. Consider yourself dead. Like I said, Steppenwolf shouldn't know where all of these boxes are, yet the one that should be hardest to find is the one that he finds first. Am I the only person that caught on to that? One box is in a strong fortress hidden on an invisible island. The second box is hidden in the deepest, most secret part of the ocean that no one has ever been to. And the third one is buried like, what, 2 feet underground? If a dog is really looking hard enough for it, a dog is going to find it. When Bruce Wayne goes to talk to Aquaman for the first time, they talk about who they are and what they do in front of everyone. Are secret identities no longer a thing? Like whenever Lois Lane shows up to calm down Superman, whenever he's like had just woken up and he's going through this rage and hatred towards everyone, there's cops literally standing right behind her with their arms crossed, just watching her do her thing and calm this alien down before he destroys planet Earth. And she's just like, Clark, stop, please. I'm here, love me. And I'm just like, is anybody listening or watching this moment? How does this make any sense? Don't even get me started on his fucking face. If you really stop to think about it, I mean, really think about it for a minute. Lois Lane had absolutely no purpose in this movie. She showed up to calm him down. She showed up at the farm to smell his pits and let him know that he smells good. And then she talks to Martha once to say, hey, we still love the same guy. What the hell is she doing in this movie? Martha should have actually been the secret weapon, not her. At least that would have gone hand in hand with the previous movie. Oh, and if Superman is back from the dead, the ending of the Justice League clearly lets us know that so is Clark. Like at the end of the movie, Clark Kent is literally standing there in front of his mom's house, helping her move back in with like 100 movers and 100 construction workers also fixing her house. And he's standing there with Bruce Wayne? Do people not know who they are? In the ending of Batman v Superman, the dirt that sits on top of the casket begins to move, it vibrates, it begins to levitate. As if it was a powerful sign that said, Superman is rising from the dead. But in Justice League, we have Cyborg and Flash dig his dead corpse and carry it to the other heroes. Oh, and when Superman does wake up and starts to fight the other heroes, Steppenwolf is like right behind them. He just shows up, grabs the box that they left behind, and then disappears. Where the fuck is he coming from and how does he know when to drop? Is he just walking on the clouds, just watching us all? And if so, why didn't he do this 100 years ago? He should have done it back then whenever Diana was just a baby and none of the other heroes were around. Well, maybe Aquaman was around. But we're not too sure about that because we literally don't know anything about this character in this movie. Except that he's an alcoholic. And back to Superman fighting the heroes, I will admit that whenever Flash is running as fast as he can around Superman and Superman just like follows him, that scene was hilarious, okay? But of course, everyone knows that Superman is faster than a speeding bullet. But if you think about it, in the beginning of the movie, Wonder Woman stops every single bullet that it's spraying out of this machine gun. Which means we now have 2 superheroes in one team that can do exactly what Flash can do. Not just exactly what Flash can do, but the only thing that Flash can do. Doesn't that make Flash seem worthless? Well, I guess the only purpose that the Flash has in this movie is to crack jokes here and there, which just didn't stick with me. I'm sorry. I know that's one of the things that a lot of people enjoyed, but it got really annoying after a while. Oh, and how come the parademons didn't smell the fear in Flash whenever he clearly lets everyone know that he's never been in battle and that he's scared shitless? Somehow, the parademons smell the ounce of fear that probably lasted for a split second in Steppenwolf, their boss, who they know for a fact is an evil badass that lives on destroying things. But yet they attack him. I mean, I guess it has been done before. It's sort of like when Simba throws his uncle off the cliff and the hyenas, Scar's own friends, kill him. Does that make sense? If you think about it, who did they save in this movie? Like, I know Steppenwolf wants to destroy planet Earth to recreate it as his own planet, but you never really feel threatened by him. You never feel bad for Gotham or Metropolis or Smallville because you don't really see anyone but the heroes. I guess Flash does save a few people. Even when he admits that he's scared shitless, he did also save that family that lives in the middle of nowhere that hides underneath their dining room table with a can of bug spray. But then Superman carries a whole entire apartment complex that we can only assume is filled with people right above Flash's head. Once again, making Flash pointless. But it's funny, and that's what counts. They decided to make a lot of funnies in this movie to make the movie entertaining. The Flash is in the middle of a battle and falls down on top of Wonder Woman's boobs. That's so funny. Flash gets inside Bruce Wayne's expensive car and says, "What's your superpower?" Bruce Wayne says, "I'm rich." That's so funny. Superman calls the Flash a slowpoke. That's so funny. Cyborg starts controlling Batman's Nightcrawler and says, "I'll take it from here, Alfred." And then Alfred responds, "Do I know you?" Even though Alfred knows everything that Bruce Wayne knows because they work on everything together. He was even there whenever Wonder Woman was talking to Cyborg earlier. He also helped Bruce Wayne go through all the files in Batman v Superman. But that's so funny. Superman grabs Batman by the face and says, "Do you bleed?" and then throws him over his shoulder. Then Batman lays on the ground and says, "Oh, something is definitely bleeding." That's so funny. That one scene with some character named Jim Gordon, when all the superheroes are on the rooftop and then pull the superhero disappearing act, the person that should be the fastest on that rooftop and should have seen it all coming doesn't. That's so funny. Cyborg and Superman are laying on the ground laughing at each other's battle wounds. Wonder Woman says, "Children. I work with children." That's so funny. Clark Kent is helping his mom move back inside the house and asks Bruce Wayne how he got the house back for his mom. Bruce Wayne says, "I bought the bank." I've seen this movie about 4 times now, and by the time I was finishing up the 4th time, the more it started to feel like one of these Star Wars prequels. That's about as far as I can go with that statement. Here it is. Another video on YouTube about what went horribly wrong with the Justice League. Like I said, the only reason I own this movie is because I'm a stupid DC fanboy. I'm just praying and hoping that it gets better. I'm sure most of us already know with our psychic abilities that it's not going to get better, but all we can do is hope. I know Batman v Superman has its issues, but I personally thought Batman v Superman was great. The extended cut actually makes the movie a lot better. So yeah, there's that. Batman v Superman is a way better film than the Justice League. And that's a fact coming from me. Just like The Force Awakens is better than The Last Jedi.